This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not medical advice. Please consult a qualified healthcare professional before making any health or lifestyle changes. Welcome to the Happy Healthy Her podcast, your go-to space for real talk, inspiration, and laughter as we navigate life as a woman. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Happy Healthy Her podcast. Hello, I'm Lorraine Keim, a mindset wellness coach, empowering women to live more authentically through my personalized, guided self-discovery and self-healing system. I will be your host today, and we will explore the relationship between body awareness, comfort, and the choices we make about what touches our bodies every single day, especially during the natural cycles and the changes women experience throughout life. But first, let's hear from my friends and co-host, Cynthia.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Penner. I'm a menopause health coach and author of the Menopause Map book series. And I also host the Menopause Map Minute podcast and YouTube channel. My work is focused on helping women in midlife make sense of their hormones and their symptoms so they can move from confusion and overwhelm into clarity, confidence, and support that actually fits their lives.
Thank you. Tracy?
Yes. Hello, I'm Tracy Mail, health empowerment coach. And after experiencing years of unexplained health issues, chronic stress, and emotional burnout, I learned to work with my body instead of against it. So now I help other women do the same through simple, natural lifestyle shifts. And I'm really looking forward to today's conversation.
Great, great. Thank you, ladies. Today we are joined by Arielle Loupos, founder of Flower Girl, a non-toxic, sustainable period underwear brand inspired by a deeply personal journey towards helping women feel more at home in their bodies. Arielle's work brings together body literacy, thoughtful design, and informed choice, encouraging women to listen to their bodies with care, curiosity, and respect. Arielle, welcome.
Thank you. It's so great to be with you all.
Nice.
Awesome. So, what stands out to me is your journey didn't just begin as a business idea, but a real and personal experience. The moment when you realized something about traditional products did not feel aligned with how you wanted to care for your body. Can you share a little bit more about yourself and how this all began?
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, honestly, the spiritual, energetic side of me, tampons and pads, wearing those as an option just never felt right. They were uncomfortable. To me, it didn't feel like we should be clogging using this, heavy piece of cotton to keep our flow from exiting our body. So, I started to wear period underwear as a method to manage my cycle. And, it's been close to a decade probably that I've been wearing period underwear exclusively. And still wasn't super happy with the product. The quality, also, I would wear it and, it would add like 2 inches of padding to my butt. It was just very heavy and again, uncomfortable. And my whole life, I've been ruminating on, what can I build? I want to do something and I want it to be impactful. So I was like, why not literally just it was like a thought one day, like I'm going to make period underwear. So I live in Los Angeles and I started to get connected to different manufacturers, drive around to different production facilities, and really taught myself how to create a physical product, because it's a very compartmentalized, step-by-step process, if you will. And then also taking advantage of a lot of the textile shows that are here in Los Angeles. So I really just started to learn about different fabrics. And, it's interesting because this journey started with wanting to create just a cuter and more comfortable product. But as I learned about the importance of what we wear against our skin, like synthetic versus natural fibers, and then also learning about, unfortunately, the heavy chemical load that's in disposable menstrual products, I was like, I have to make it my mission to use better quality materials for women's bodies. So that's kind of where Flower Girl came from.
Wow, that sounds
What
great.
did you do before this?
Yeah.
Like,
So
what was your job before? All of a sudden, you're like, I started going around to all these manufacturers. Like,
yeah. I've worked in e-commerce over the past
Mm.
decade. So helping brands launch, manage, scale their online stores. So I like to joke that I naively went into product development thinking like I can put a website online, I can do the email marketing, social media, all of the digital components. I was very humbled though to learn creating a physical product and especially one that actually has to function well for women is quite the endeavor. It was 2 years of like R&D and just learning. And yeah, but I was doing e-commerce before that.
okay.
Nice.
Wow, that was really helpful for when you eventually got off the ground.
It's very helpful now and it's the best because, you know, I recognize I'm grateful for my skill set because if you don't have at least one of those components, it's really hard to start a business. But yeah, so having that side definitely helps.
Nice.
Well, I love that because, women are for so long have had this kind of hide and seek approach, with their cycle, fighting it or hiding it or, rather than going with the flow, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you found a better way to like listen to your body, a whole
Yeah.
body approach to self-care. That's just awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. It's been one of the most interesting points. I'm actually happy you said that that's come from this whole mission. You know, again, I don't think I necessarily set out with like, I really want to help women get back in tune with their bodies, but that now feels like what the most
Mm.
important message, with period underwear just being one facet of that. So yeah, and I believe for so long because we've been told to like be quiet, suffer in silence, deal with it, like no, no.
Yeah, but we don't really
Oh,
suffer in silence, right? Because the old products, you had
yeah.
leaking,
Yeah.
you had bulk, you
Yes.
had too much information. But if the string came off the tampon, then you went
Yeah.
on an exploratory adventure. So
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
it wasn't silence, but it was suffering, right?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was such a taboo area, even among women. You
Yeah.
know, we wouldn't want anybody to know that we're either on it or,
Yeah.
God forbid, we should have a leak or a spot or something
Yeah.
happen to us. It was such a shaming kind of event. So I love your approach, just kind of bringing it out there and saying, hey, we all
Yeah.
do this. This is something that we need to, grab a hold of and bring into the light and really modernize. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely. Totally.
So, what is the material the underwear is made of?
Yeah, so I use a tensile model for the body of the underwear, which is a super
Mm.
breathable, soft fabric. It's derived from trees. It's made in a super
Nice.
sustainable, ethical process. And so that's the body, right? Now, how period underwear actually works is the crotch area, also known as the gusset. It's composed of three different fabric layers. So they're performance fabrics, if you will. So the top layer is designed to keep you cool and dry. It's moisture wicking, so you don't feel like you're sitting, in your wet flow all day. There's a middle, very absorbent layer, and then there's a bottom waterproof layer, which keeps your flow from actually leaking out. So with the three of those working together in the gusset and then the body tensile, something that was so important to me, I made like 5 different samples of the underwear because I kept finding better and better fabric and then you need to like retest it, refit it. So I'm really proud of what I landed on because I get a lot of feedback from women that they're like, you should just market this as underwear because it
Yeah,
doesn't feel like
perfect.
regular period underwear in the sense that
Mm.
it's very bulky and uncomfortable. You wouldn't even feel, like you're on your period. And that was one of the goals is to just feel like you're going about life normally.
Nice.
Well, that's a
So,
good point because there are other things that happen to women.
Yeah.
So maybe this kind of underwear, I mean, especially as you get older, maybe you have a
Yes.
little bladder
mm,
leaking
Yes.
or you have some kind of, you know, dare I say, yeast infection or something else
Yeah.
going on. And
Yes.
so this can kind of run the gamut, not just for the periods, from what I understand.
Exactly. Yes, I have several reviews on my website now from older women who have shared, it's helped them so much with incontinence. And, when they're out at dinner with their girlfriends, they laugh, they sneeze, they're not worried anymore. One of my favorite reviews is from a newly postpartum mom who wanted to go back to Pilates, and she bought a 3-pack of the thong because she wanted to be able to work out without leaking. She had had a vaginal birth, a few months ago. So hearing all of these other ways that the product has helped women, and I've made it, the goal is to help you throughout all phases of womanhood. So it's really heartwarming.
That's
So they
fantastic.
Yeah.
so they
How
work
many?
when you're
Yeah.
working out. It's not
Yes.
just
Yeah,
like
they
you
do.
wouldn't be careful when you're wearing them and wonder if you do a certain like a yoga pose or you're running that it's not gonna.
Leg up
Correct.
over
They're
your.
great. I work out in them. They're very comfortable. It's fine. Yeah, they protect you. You can work out with confidence. Yeah.
Wow.
How
Wow.
many pairs would you wear in a day?
Okay, great question. So it varies, right? I just told someone
Okay.
the other day I need about 7 to 14 pairs to get through a full cycle, right? Because my flow is very different now. It lasts for about 3 to 4 days, right? If I'm bleeding heavily, here's something interesting I've actually learned is that, we're taught as women, like, here's a super absorbent tampon that's marketed to last 8+ hours a day. That's not actually good for you. So
No,
we
no.
shouldn't actually be looking for period care that lasts for 8 to 12 hours. You actually should be
Mm.
swapping it out every 4 to 5 hours. So the underwear, and I actually do bring like a pair with me if I'm out and about. On a heavy day, I'm swapping it out twice during the day. It goes for like 4 to 5 hours. But then if I'm like pre or post my heavy day, I can go about, an 8 hour day running around, and then I'm back home and I swap it out. So
Okay. So we
yeah.
were
And when you
talking,
say,
what a, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you say swap it out, what care do you need to give to the one you take off? Like
Yes.
you
Yeah.
need to rinse it, soak it,
Yep. Great
wash it with
Stuff it
question.
in
different
your
clothes.
purse.
Yeah. So sorry if this is TMI, but I have
Nope.
little laundry bags that I ship all the orders in. And if I'm out, like I work at a co-working space, and if I want to, and I wear my underwear exclusively now, I do put it in the laundry bag in my bag then, and then I bring it home with me. And then I do rinse it. I wear them in the shower with me. I let it rinse and run clear, and then I throw it in the laundry machine, and you can wash them just fine with everything else. You can tumble dry low. My optimal care would be hang dry, but the lazy girl in me sometimes, and I'm testing them to see how much they can take. They hold up just fine.
I was just thinking, wouldn't that be a cruel joke for a purse snatcher?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
especially living here in LA, that would be really funny, actually. Yeah, that go take my purse.
yeah, that's
Well, if it
Good.
was a
trying to
woman, they
giggle.
probably just clean them up and start using them.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What
Yeah.
about somebody that has like an end, like when we get older and you have endometriosis or like the extremely heavy, this is gross, I know, but the cloddy, nasty periods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, with endo and PCOS and all of these, what
Mhm.
medical practitioners, excuse me, have deemed as like mysterious, debilitating periods, right? I have this belief that it's actually the products that we've been using as women that
Oh,
are really
probably.
wreaking
Yeah.
havoc on our body. So I can't tell you how many women I've talked to when they make the switch to period underwear and they're allowing their flow to leave their body naturally,
Mm.
how many symptoms of PMS and how their extremely heavy flows lessen, and it becomes
Mm.
way more manageable. And I just have this like feeling, that like it's truly because like if you're wearing a tampon that's, sprayed with pesticides and it has heavy metals and lead and arsenic and all these horrible chemicals in it, what's that doing to your
Jesus.
system? Like, I just feel like that's all connected. So when you start wearing natural products
Mm.
that support your flow, I think it can help. I think there's, of course, and I hear that a lot of hesitation from women who are very heavy bleeders, so they don't want
Mm.
to just make that switch yet. But I think that once you start to, it
Mm.
will only help your body. But unfortunately, yeah, they're not like I'm not gonna lie, they're not the best for like if you're bleeding like very, very heavily,
No.
like that probably won't be able to support. But my hope is that as women start to catch on and become educated on like the products they're using, that will help to alleviate these like
Yeah.
bad symptoms then.
And to be honest, nothing works when you're that heavy. So you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
you can't
that's
criticize
great
your
to
underwear
hear.
in that case, right?
I know, yeah, it's
15
so
pads
crazy.
doesn't even help. So yeah.
Right, right.
So what about the
Good.
blood clotting? Like if let's even if you're not doing heavy bleeding, but
Yeah, yeah.
as you
It
age, they clot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it absorbs. I am clotty sometimes, and the top material is quite porous, so it's
Okay.
designed, and then the absorbent material takes in your flow, and actually it like is the goal is to like disperse it quite evenly throughout the gusset. So it does support you.
Nice.
Wow. I
Nice.
mean, I'm postmenopausal, so
We all are.
um, yeah. So I mean, where were you 20
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Way too
yeah,
young. But
Yeah.
I love the way that women's products are evolving. I love
yeah.
that you
Yeah.
saw something that was bothering you, and instead of just accepting it, you were like, no, I got to figure out a way to make this better.
Thank
And
you.
now you've created it
Yes.
so the younger generations can benefit from it.
Yeah,
But also being postmenopausal, I I wouldn't use the product for a period
yeah,
panty. It would be I'd like to sneeze once in a while without stopping, crossing my legs and praying to the
yes,
Lord that I
yeah.
don't pee my pants.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. And this underwear is great for that. I have
That's
women,
true.
like I said, yeah, who have bought it for like their girls' nights out so they can like laugh and have enjoy.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
sad.
Or go
That
to
is so true
yoga.
though.
Go
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
Yeah.
yoga. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
right.
get on a
Or
trampoline.
even the
Oh,
yeah,
the trampoline.
yeah.
We could go on the trampoline again.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. We're here
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
even like the gym, like you said, just sometimes you can get really sweaty in places that
Yeah,
you don't like to get sweaty. And,
Mm.
and when it's humid or, when you have a lot of clothes on or when you're sitting for very long periods of time. And, I mean, you can think of all kinds of things,
Oh
for
yeah.
yeah.
women, from teenage up. So that's really great news that it has so many, it's very versatile, has so many reasons to
Mm-hmm.
use a product like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful that it's working with your body instead
Hmm.
of against it, and that it's got these natural, because so much today, and we talk about it, and so do our guests all the time, is that we we have started concentrating on what we put in our body, but less so what we put on or against our
Hmm.
bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just one of those other avenues where we have you have thought through, and it's become beneficial for us to think about what we're putting against our bodies or on our bodies, especially with the microplastics and all of the other things that we're dealing with now. And so I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
Thank
What
you.
what do you
So
think about the hemp and
go ahead.
bamboo, that kind of thing,
Mm,
like for shirts, not underwear, but is
Yeah.
that stuff good or no?
It's so hard to say. There's so
Okay.
much research happening right now on bamboo. To be
Mm.
transparent, I thought bamboo was great. And then I heard that there's this whole shift happening that it still
Mm.
might potentially be made being with like some sort of
The
chemical
chem
coating.
Ugh.
I don't actually know enough to speak on it. However, I think the industry is shifting so much right now. And what I just love to see is that we're actually just starting to pay attention to it in general.
Yeah,
I can tell
true
you
enough.
for sure polyester, I like is bad. I try not to buy polyester anymore. Um, but yeah, this whole shift to natural fibers, and I'm actually starting to see a lot of smaller brands, especially in the athleisure space, create their own proprietary fabrics, which is something that's super interesting to me as well as I think about like the long-term goal for the brand because you see so many people promoting these athletic brands like
Mm.
that are just made with they're
Lululemon and
polyester
yeah,
leggings, and then you think about it and you're working out in
yeah.
them and you're wearing it against your skin, you're sweating, you wear it in a sauna. Oh my God, like that's horrible. So
Mm.
I think my
Crazy.
my hypothesis and hope is that consumers are shifting the way that they like with what they wear and paying attention to it. So
Nice. May I ask what your shirt's made of? I'm just
Okay, so
curious. It's very loose and looks
this
beautiful.
is actually like a silk, and it's vintage. So, and I don't know much about silk either, but yeah, I got it at a vintage store.
It's
So
very pretty.
thank
I was
you.
curious.
Well, that's
Okay.
really a good question. What other
Yeah.
fabrics did you come across that may not have been the best choice for your underwear,
Yeah.
but is a great
Mhm.
choice to wear
Yeah.
otherwise?
So I started sampling with this Supima cotton, and I know that, cotton can be great. That cotton can also be bad. It
Right.
depends where it's coming from. Organic cotton is obviously what to look out for. Even with organic cotton, though, you got to be careful, much like with certain foods, you know how it's labeled organic, but it's not always the best. I think it's the same marketing with clothing. So you just always have to kind of be aware as a consumer of like, where is my clothing coming from? Where is it being made? Um, yeah, and like I said, I started with cotton, and then I found out about Tencel as I started kind of doing market
Mm.
research. And the brands that I really love that I saw were scaling really quickly were using a Tencel. And I like it because I can say, it's a fiber derived from trees. So
Mm.
that's why I ended up going with that.
And
Another
so
question.
I'm assuming that makes makes it a slightly stretchy too,
Yes,
as
yes,
well.
it is a
Okay.
bit stretchy, which is nice as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Good. What would you say to somebody? I know what I say to people when they say, I can't afford that food. What do you say when they say, oh, this clothing is too, I can't afford to have that kind of organic clothing. All I can
yeah.
afford is polyester or whatever.
It's tough, and I get it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you my closet is not fully cleansed of every piece of like that I would want it to be because it is an expensive process, unfortunately. Like the
Yeah.
same with food. It's unfair that organic, better for you food is unaffordable for a lot of people. It's not fair. It's not right. So what I would say is just be as mindful as you can. Obviously, I get if you need to buy a pair of gym shorts and that's all you have, it's polyester, like buy the gym shorts. And then I'm always try to be mindful globally of the products you're using, right? So it's like if you're gonna wear the gym shorts, maybe like, don't eat the bad food, eat an apple. If trade out in different
Yeah.
areas of your life that you can to try to be as best as possible because it's totally hard to
Yeah.
be 100% clean,
Absolutely. Good
unfortunately.
answer. All right. Good answer.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, speaking of that, we're talking about affordability and stuff, but so there are women listening, and they're thinking to themselves, wow, I'm just now becoming aware of this. And if they're just thinking, okay, maybe I can't afford it, maybe I can't go all in, but I'd like to do something, where would you suggest they start?
Yeah, yeah, such a great question. Honestly, I would start with skincare items first.
Mhm.
Because again, our skin is our most absorbent organ essentially that we have, right? So if you can start with clean skincare, um, I'd start there. Say it's like same with hair products. I mean, definitely, I'm obviously very biased menstrual products. I would say ditch the toxic tampons,
Oh,
but if you're one
absolutely.
of those people that needs more convincing, start with skincare, I would say. Oh, and I would say stop wearing perfume.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's like the number one
Mhm.
hormone disruptor for
Yeah. Mhm.
humans. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think about essential oils? The from
Mm,
like the
I love
high
essential
quality.
oils.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I love essential oils and I
Yeah.
love
All right.
natural fragrance. That's totally fine. But when like
Yeah.
I'm talking the fragrance when
This
you walk into
horrible perfumes.
Sephora
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
like
You go,
can't
ugh.
breathe and it's
Yeah.
just like so much and like yeah,
Yeah.
that's that I would just stop altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. Like scented candles, all that stuff, right?
Scented candles, yes,
The
yes.
plugins,
The
not good.
plugins,
Ugh.
yes. Ditch
Yeah.
all of that first.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
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 So I guess another small step would be just pay attention to your labels, you know,
100%. Yeah.
and start noticing, you know,
Yeah.
how your body reacts, or maybe start making some small connections between what you're wearing on your body, or what you're putting on your body and the way that you
Definitely.
feel or things like that. That's great.
Definitely. Yeah.
Even
So,
toothpaste, right? You get the
Yeah, no, it's
toothpaste
literally
without,
everything, which
yeah.
is, yeah, so crazy.
I
You know,
have
it's
the,
like you just reminded me of like household items, cleaning supplies, scented garbage bags,
yeah,
like all of the stuff,
everything.
cookware. Like you have to be so cautious of everything. So like start where you can and where it
Yeah,
makes most sense for your wallet.
that's right.
well,
Baby
it really
steps.
is great that
So,
we're
yeah.
starting to notice some products go fragrance free because that's what we're really
Yeah.
looking for. For someone like me, I always have to do fragrance free, no dyes, things
Yep.
like that. And you are getting some products, but as we talked earlier, they seem to be really expensive. So when you have a
Yeah.
brand come out and say, "Oh, look at us, we don't do fragrance or perfumes or dyes," and then it's twice as much as everything else that's available.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know,
So,
I know.
yeah.
It's hard. I will say it also does feel like, though, in this age of like social media and a lot more small businesses, I really try to support small when I can, do some quick research on social media if you can. If you can search TikTok or Instagram, because you're likely going to come across a founder who's trying to, shake up or disrupt a category and by doing it better. So there are, and what I think is beautiful too is they're sharing their stories a lot of the time, so you get that context of like where it's coming from and why they're doing it.
That's great.
Nice.
So that moves into
That's so
like
cool.
a small business, and entrepreneurship and really helping out
Yeah,
people that may not get noticed otherwise. And so we can help each other out by,
exactly.
lifting up these companies when they have really good ideas and they're, making products that we should really be taking a second look at. So
Mhm.
that's
Definitely. Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Well, it looks like today we've been talking mostly about how our body is always communicating with us and we need to listen.
No.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, if we can listen with more curiosity, like what is this? What is that? How is our body responding? And a big dose of compassion instead of judgment about what we wear or our status or things of that nature because we don't want to look at everything as well, we're not perfect, we're not wearing what's perfect, we don't have access to everything, but just small little tweaks will change ourselves in vital and meaningful ways. So, the key things that we talked about today is awareness of what touches our body matters. Small, intentional changes create meaningful shifts, and the body is something to listen to, not something to fight, because we do usually fight against this stuff or fix. So, if you could leave our listeners with one truth that frees them from the guilt and helps them move forward with empathy, what would that be?
Yeah, kind of piggybacking on what you just mentioned, it's listen to your body. And I think so often as women, we were taught to go, go, go and keep up in this 24-hour circadian rhythm day, our day, our society is structured around the male's hormonal cycle. Like, let's just be honest. And it doesn't actually accommodate a woman's cycle. We are cyclical beings. We operate on an infradian cycle. So my advice would be honor your body, listen to it. When you wake up and it wants rest, give it rest. Always tune in. If you're also, think you need to keep up, go, go, go with work, with social plans, like say no. It's okay to say no, as long as you are listening to your body.
Mm,
Nice.
good advice.
Nice, nice.
Ladies?
Yeah,
Well,
all I'd
I
like
would,
to say.
oh,
Oh,
go
you're
ahead,
okay.
Tracy.
I win. I'm just going to reiterate what we said earlier. I like, again, because I know with when it comes to food and health, nutrition that way, it's always a cost thing to eat healthier. I love the fact just baby steps. Give yourself 6 months or a year to slowly replenish and swap things out, right? Like your cookware, your
Yes,
under your
yes,
period
yeah,
stuff, your clothing, your food. little bit, all of a sudden you have cast iron instead of the other nonsense, right? But it's not all or nothing at one time, right? So,
Yes,
and
that's
your health is worth it, right? The
yeah,
cost of medications and,
yes,
being sick, it's not even comparison. So
yeah.
and thank you so much, Arielle, for being here. So nice
Thank
meeting you.
you
Okay.
too.
Yes.
Thank you, Ariel, for being here. I would reiterate exactly what you three said is listen to your body. Like everyone's body's going to need a different small step at a different time. So for me, if I was thinking of my first step, I think your period panties would benefit my life because of my stage of life, the cost of me not working out, the cost of me not going to yoga because of, oops, I did it again, right? Is higher than the cost of buying your underwear, right? And
Yeah.
so that would be my first step, but that might not be Lorraine's or Tracy's or even yours, right? So if you take a moment and just sit with yourself and just work through all the information we gave the listeners, what is the first step for you? And then you're right, Tracy, at the end of the year, you, instead of still being stuck here and saying everything's too expensive, I can't afford this, I can't do this, I can't make the changes. But if you do one small step each day, at the end of the year, you can look back and go, wow, like, and when you're kissing it, keeping it super simple, right? If you only have one quality pair of underwears as opposed to 10 ones that shouldn't be touching your skin, right? Then keeping it simple and having less, but having higher quality actually increases your life. So thank you.
Well said. Thank you.
Well, especially for us ladies, over 35, over 40, we are concentrating so much more, as Tracy was saying, on staying healthy. And we're thinking a lot more about what we put on our bodies. We want to think more about what we put on our bodies. And so this becomes essential as you grow older. And the closer you get to 60, which I'm over 60, and the closer you get to 70, and it really becomes an important aspect of your life to be putting clean, healthy, beneficial substances inside and outside of your body, just so that we can not only live longer, which may or may not happen, but so we can live healthier and happier and more comfortable. And so that's really what we wish for everyone. And even if it takes a year to save up,
Yeah.
you can put $5 a week away for, whatever, and just make the changes that are important for your life and your lifestyle. So not everyone will be choosing the same things for themselves. So thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. And I wanted to ask you, we do have your links and they will be on the show, but is there any place that you would want people to visit you first, or, that stands out that, okay, if you want anything, come here?
Yeah. If anyone has any questions, comments, wants to continue this conversation, I love talking about all of this. You can find me on Instagram at flowergirl.co, and that's also the name of the website. So there should be a contact form with an email there. If you reach out, it's a one-man show right now, so you're talking to me. So again, like always happy to, answer any questions about the product or anything.
Great, fantastic. So we're going to do a weekly challenge with this because I thought it was really important that women understand, okay, what do I do? Where do I start? And we'd like you to think about starting with just being still, being silent, and noticing.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to what you wear closest to your body. Notice the comfort, the temperature, and how you feel throughout the day. Awareness is the first step toward meaningful change. And let's face it, especially at this age, what do we want? We want comfort.
Comfort.
I mean, if it was up to all of us, we'd have no bra and sweatpants.
Yeah.
But
Check and check.
Oh, no.
Okay.
so, The next best thing is something that looks nice,
Mm.
but is also comfortable and healthy for us. So let's start there. So thank you again. We are so glad that you came on, and it stands out as a gentle reminder that our body is always, always, always whispering to us.
Yep.
So be mindful of its guidance. When you listen with care and curiosity, you will begin to feel more at home with yourself. So, to all of our listeners, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend who might need it. We are so grateful to have you listening, and we hope you're leaving this episode feeling inspired and empowered. Until next
Very
time,
nice.
remember, it's never too late to be the you were meant to be. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank
Bye, everyone.
you.
Bye.
I wanted to say before we completely
Oh,
go off
sure.
that Arielle has offered 15% off to all of our listeners. So yes, do that. Go in, you get Happy Her 15 to get the
Yeah.
15% off.
Thanks for tuning in to the Happy Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with anyone you think would benefit from the topics we're discussing. We'd love to hear from you. DM us with your thoughts, comments, or ideas for future episodes. And don't forget to check out the links in our bio if you'd like to connect with any of us or learn more about what we do. Until next time, remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, be happy, and be healthy.